side. Don't know how long this battery's gonna last. The other one's just kicked out on me. Yes, welcome to Manchester. It's a little bit foggy. And unfortunately, when it's foggy, motorists and other car drivers and the full works all go bananas. So because there's a hint of fog in the air. Ooh, bus station's closed down a bit. Okay. Yeah, because there is a hint of fog in the air, just a hint, everybody goes in. And you have all the ones that reach straight for their fog lights and turn them on when there's no need. And what happens is when people do turn their fog lights on, when the fog lifts, or tomorrow when they get in their car and it's not foggy, they forget about their fog light and they drive around for the rest of eternity with their fog light on until somebody tells them, and even then they don't know sometimes how to turn it off. So there is a little few tips to driving in fog. Boy, I'm hungry. That's not one of them, by the way. Yes, so obviously, first of all, the rule about your fog lights: you must use your headlights and normal tail lights until serious reduced visibility. This tends to be roughly about 100 metres, which is, if I remember right, about 28 feet. That's road 226. Do our risk for the motorway. Oh, the motorway seems to be, so we'll go for the motorway. So, other little instant tips driving in fog: when you're driving in thick fog, obviously leave more space. Be more speed aware of the speed you're doing. Reduce your speed if necessary. Remember, don't drive to the limits, drive to the conditions. So where we are now, we're in Stockport at the moment. The fog is, it's pretty light round here. It's been dense in other places, so fog lights definitely are not required. Normal headlights and tail lights are. It's dark as well, so they're on normally. We don't require anything special. Just take a bit more time and be a bit more wary. There's obviously the point though where some motorists will drive really slowly. Others will drive not too bad. So yeah, some motorists will drive really slowly, but others won't. And no, I did not see that cyclist. That because he's coming over a crossing that he's not supposed to be using. But anyway, he's just going to go on the road and get in our way. So yeah, it's just take a bit more care. Obviously some motorists, as I said, keep their fog lights on for this, which is definitely more than 100 metres visibility. It does make brake lights a lot harder to see in some cars. In others it's quite obvious, but when you've got a bit of fog about it can make it quite difficult to see brake lights, so again just be very wary of the cars in front of you. Sure, on this run private back to the depot we'll come across at least one or two examples of Muppets with fog lights. As soon as your visibility lifts beyond 100 metres ish, you must switch your fogs off. They're very intense and confusion, and your front fog lights are stupidly bright and can cause even dazzling. But like some of them LED day running lights at night, you know, when they forget to turn the lights on. Quite tired. There we go. Round onto M60. So now I find the M60 is really bloody busy. Oh, there you go. I can see one with the fog light on in the outside lane right now. One in the taxi driver in the middle lane who should know better. As well, which also I think has his yes, he does have his fog lights on. As you can see, I wasn't too sure then because he was braking. The van is a very good example of where fog lights can obstruct the brake lights of the vehicle. I told you we wouldn't be short of idiots with fog lights on here. They're just not needed. There's at least, let's say, 300, 400 metres visibility. There you go, he's braking, but he's fog light. Because your eyes are attracted to change, so when you're scanning around, looking at what everyone's doing and trying to plan where your vehicle's going, and where everyone else is trying to go, your eyes are attracted to light, the change of light. So if he didn't have his fog lights on, as soon as he applies his brake lights, your eyes are immediately attracted to it. Where now, because he's got bright lights on anyway, your eyes tend not to be attracted to it in your peripheral vision, which is why it tends to make it a bit more dangerous. Now, do I come off a Bredbrook? What's the warning? Q. See that matrix sound from the 203, but I couldn't see what it said. It was too far, but I could see that it was illuminated. So we still here got about 300-400 metres visibility, if not even more. You can see very clearly, you can see all the lights very clearly until the next bend. Got his fog lights on, now scanning between the middle lane and the front lane so I can see when the traffic's coming to a halt easily. Another idiot there with his fog lights on, which doesn't need it, you can clearly see. Here's that taxi when we joined that's got his fog light on, that doesn't need it. It's from Oldham, what do you expect? Before anyone points out, in this circumstances, I am legally allowed to undertake as my lane is moving quicker than their lane. The taxi there with his fog lights on, down to 40 mile an hour now. Good chance to do it. Got more cars here coming up. We've got the Corsa in the middle lane that's got his fog light on for, again, it's not foggy here. There's a bit of mist in the air at this point. And I don't know if the blue car is braking or not because he's got a brake cluster where the fog lights are included in the cluster. So it's not easy to tell. us onto the extended run, which is for trucks and stuff like that. Vehicles that may need a bit more of a run up to get the speed after they've had to slow down. However, traffic is standing still, so it's not too bad. Just roll down here because there's no point using the acceleration because we are going to be coming to a stand. We need to join into that lane, the first lane here. Obviously joining the motorway like this is a bit more tricky because it's a large vehicle, it's a slow moving vehicle. Well, it's slow off the mark. So we're now going to put our right indicator on and just signal our intentions that we would like to join the motorway at this junction. This car here has seen that that is our intention and has very nicely let us in. We'll do thank you with the indicators because you'd only use your hazard lights, because hazard lights on the motorway tend to mean there's an obstruction ahead and we're going to be coming to a very sudden stop. That is another very common confusion when using motorways. This Citroen in front also does have his fog lights on, and as you can see it's very difficult to see his brake lights. The only easy way to see his brake lights is that his third one is working. But again, it's not enough to cast your peripheral vision over. As you see, the visibility is quite clear. You can see up to the next matrix sign, which you might be able to see on camera with the junction information on it. Clearly see to the brow of the hill. No need for any fog lights or anything like that. And over Manchester there isn't probably much need at all. Maybe up on like Ridge Hill, in them areas you might need them. Maybe up on a hill. See, this is the problem when you leave gaps like this for this sort of weather and this sort of traffic. You get people jumping in front like that. So this gap now gives me enough time to be able to see what's ahead, plan what's ahead, and brake within time. Another one with the fog light on. I'm just going to ease off. I'm not going to actually use my brakes, because in that sense, chain reaction down the line and people using the brakes. But if you can just ease it a bit easier on the flow of traffic, you don't get people over braking, which then overcompensates. Then you end up with that random traffic stop to the motorway scenario. As you see now, the car in front, his fog light is incredibly bright, although he's only on one side, which is a bit of a godsend. When he brakes, it can be difficult again to see his brake lights. And this is exactly the reason why you shouldn't use them unless you need to. But this is our junction now, this is our 200-yard marker. So we're going to be indicating left now to mark to signal our intentions. Still going to check the near side just to make sure there's no idiots coming with the hard shoulder. And we're off. I'm going to stay right over to the left here because we're going to be coming off and we're going to be using the immediate left lane to bypass the traffic lights and go round about that way onto high road and down high road. As you see here, the fog does increase a bit here as we're higher up again. Look, tend to have to indicate here because the lane is just being created, but it's good practice to indicate anyway. Bus drivers are some of the most frequent people to indicate, especially while driving a bus. So another misconception here is this is a giveaway. So any traffic coming around you do have to give way to. Giveaway lines are there. Down that little traffic island. So as you see here, the fog is a little bit denser here than it is on the motorway, but it's still not dense enough. Nice long braking. It's good for economical that as well. Just letting the engine run down rather than accelerating and then telling the engine, oh, you need to brake. There's another clown with his fog light on. Hope you guys do enjoy this commentary.